Super SWIV is a co-op action shooter where a jeep and helicopter fight together to defend the world from the evil robot drone uprising, blah blah blah. It's an upscrolling shooter. Normally you play with a friend, but I don't have one, so let's jump right into the single player. This is a Nixie one-shot. Here we go, loading into the airplane to be deployed into battle. I'm going to be starting off today playing as the jeep, that's the green one there. As the younger sibling, I was always player 2, so I'm actually more used to the helicopter. Even though you could switch them around. I'm not sure, maybe that was a conscious choice. But here we go, the intense music has started, and the jeep has emerged from the player 1 slot in the airplane. And we're off to a fantastic start, already lost a life. So, as with most auto-scrollers, simply screen goes up, shoot the things, get the points. This game actually has multiple levels, and there's quite a bit of progression through the level. Things change, and there is bosses and stuff as you go through. However, since I was a child, and probably now also, I have not seen very many of those bosses. Because as an old game, it is terribly hard, and I'm not terribly good at them. So let's go. Okay. Now there's a couple of differences between the jeep and the helicopter. Namely that you have to actually drive around buildings. There's a jump button to get over obstacles. And of course, as the jeep, you do bump into things on the ground. As the helicopter, you have a few advantages. You can fly above things, of course, but then you can crash into the other flying enemies. Most things are just for points, but those green boxes you get unlocked, so now we have flame too. There's 3 different types of weapons, and I think flame is the most damage for your limited range, which is its sort of balance. The other ones include plasma and bullets, which I do not know exactly what the difference is. Bullets look like this, and plasma looks like this. And this is just a shield, which keeps you alive a little bit longer. I used to think that it was destroyed on hit, but I think it's actually just time-based. Who knows? Okay, continuing on. The level does get more difficult as you go up, because my shield. Yeah, it's the LNR buttons to switch weapon types. Now these trains just sort of drop off these stuff. Okay. Yeah, if you run into any entity that's not a building, you just dissolve. There's also a jump button to get over trenches. Oh, come on, that's a shield. Oh, damn, okay. Yeah, as I said, this game is kinda hard. If you mildly touch anything that isn't a wall, you just melt. Let's get a high score in. Okay, I did expect to do a little bit better than that, but let's have another go, shall we? 18th on the default leaderboard. Not great? Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, level 1. I think as a child, I managed to see level 2 once. Ever. Which isn't an impressive showing. Something you might not have noticed if you played this when you were young, which is the box right at the start in the bottom right corner. Very cheekily hidden away. There's quite a lot of exploring you can do left to right. The level's actually quite wide, even though it's an auto-scroller. So you could always find new things. Well, up to a point. I know I'm finding things that I didn't know they were there. Okay, let's go. Now yeah, I don't know if you can jump over... Okay, you can jump over some terrain. My brother was always playing as the jeep, so this is very unknown territory for me. Once you jump into the helicopter, I'll show you my true potential. And by that I mean I'll probably embarrass myself again. Okay. Nice. Yeah, if you run into another shield while you have a shield, it just clears everything that's on the screen. Very useful. I'm not sure if you get points for it though. It does help if you're overwhelmed. Careful not to crash the jeep into the train. I don't think you jump over buildings though. No, okay, some buildings are too high to jump. Okay. Maybe picked up an update? An upgrade. Okay, we have Flame 3 now, which is actually pretty strong. This should give us Plasma 3 as well, I think. Let's see, Bullet 4. Oh, Plasma 4! We got the spread already! Nice! This is particularly good because it means you can get things that aren't directly in your line of sight. Also, I remember you could hide under these, though I'm not sure that did anything. Ah, get me up! Of all of the ways to die in this game, getting crushed against the bottom of the screen is another one, of course. Always found the flame good for defending, for defeating the trains. Now, I think these stars can get you extra lives if you collect enough of them, but I've never quite understood the UI enough to be able to tell when that's gonna happen. And jump. Oh. Nice shield. Always good to see. I believe we're coming up on another upgrade. Here it is. Okay, this should get us up to Plasma 6! Wow, I didn't know it went that high. I genuinely thought it was gonna max out at 5. Okay, this part's hard because you have enemies coming from the top and the bottom of the screen. So you gotta kind of try and stay in the middle as much as possible. There's so much going on. Oh, actually, an interesting note. Oh, you can shoot in other directions too, but that's just confusing. Yeah, so an interesting thing I'll know, which I've only just noticed, is that it seems like flying things come from the top and driving things come from the bottom. So I guess in this point you'd have the helicopter camping at the bottom and the jeep would be somewhere in the middle. Well, that's if you're playing with a friend. I believe that noise was just an extra life. This is a good run. Better not curse it. Okay, these things just emanate orbs, which are kinda... I think you could shoot them to destroy them, but there's a lot of them. As you can see, the map's already changed quite a bit. Moved on to the desert zone. Seems like there's a couple of... Oh no! Okay, first life lost, that's not too bad. Yeah, seems like you travel through quite a couple of biomes, like it's a proper design map, which is very cool. It's not like endless, so you can learn the patterns and stuff. I was gonna say something about speedrunning, but I guess you don't really do that on auto-scrollers. Gimme! No! There you are. Gonna save us, I'm sure. Shields really are a lifesaver, and more than just in the literal sense. But sometimes when there's so much going on, golly, it's impossible to dodge everything. Oh man, there it goes. And these little monorails, I never seem to be able to... Oh, there we are. I was gonna say I never really managed to destroy them, but maybe my weapons are usually... Oh, there you go, that one passed. Come on! See, I hit that so many times. Okay. No! That's no fair. Homing missiles. I think we're still on Plasma 4 though, so that's pretty good. Okay. This is what I meant about the emanating orb things. Wow, it's mean. You can kind of just ignore a lot of the baddies. But then of course, you get less points, not that they're really worth very much. Okay, shoot the missiles out of the air. Golly, it's frantic. Okay, we only got Plasma 3 now, so we've lost Starburst. Every time you die, all of your weapons lose 1 level of upgrade. So Plasma 4 goes to Plasma 3, and so forth. Oh, I know that music. It's boss time. This guy is mean. Let's see, come on, come on. Yeah, those are not fun. Now the minions, these little guys, they shoot homing missiles, so also not ideal. I'm not even sure what the strat is. Come on! I was holding the okay, we're down to Plasma 2 now. Come on, I can't even destroy those guys anymore. Goodness me. Okay, let's do our best to dodge them, I think. We've only got Plasma 2, which is kind of bad. Oh, that was close. Switch sides. Oh, actually, we do have a special attack, which I'm never sure when to use it, which is that. I think it actually just homes into the different enemies on the screen, so maybe that's not ideal when there's only really one enemy. That's not when you're overwhelmed by a swarm, not one big guy. Come on. So shooting into the hole seems to make him flash, which is... Oh no! Usually a good sign. No! Oh... Okay, that was a good run though. Managed to get to the boss, which is about as well as it gets, I think. And a new high score. I think this might actually be my all-time high score as Jeep. I'm really not a Jeep player. But there we are, so where does that put us? 14th, okay. I've not actually looked up any content. I know there's a second level because I think we've seen it before once, but I couldn't tell you how it goes past that. But now, I'm gonna hit up, and now we're playing as player 2, the helicopter. I like how in this little intro sequence, it actually does change it to whichever player you have selected. So as the drone ship comes out, you see the helicopter get loaded in. That's a very nice touch. Alright, let's go. Buttons are very much the same. D-pad to move. Then you have shoot, then you have special. On, what is that? On Y and A or something. Helicopter advantages, you can fly over obstacles. Helicopter disadvantages, you can crash into the enemy airplanes. So, pros and cons. I was always a helicopter player though, so... It's either easier, or I'm just used to it. Okay, let's go. Now the bullets and stuff from all of the enemies, they're all on one layer, so any tank bullets can hit you, cannon bullets can hit you. It doesn't make a difference whether you're flying or if you're on the ground. Yeah. Overall, I feel like the best strats for points is obviously to get as many enemies as you can. For progression, it's to try and dodge as many things as you can avoid. Oh, there we are. Shield works just the same. Okay. Where's the upgrades? Oh, is it not here? Ah, there it is. There's the flame one. I like using flame pretty early on. Oh, shield's gone, gotta be careful now. Stars! Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the stars do, and nowhere does it explain, so it's all just sort of guesstimating. Nice. Okay. Plasma upgrades. Now, as I've mentioned a bunch of times, this is one of the games I grew up with. I think that, yeah, the SNES was... Oh no! Okay. Oh, that's just after the plasma upgrade as well. Darn it. Yeah. Not dying is one of the most crucial things in this game because you lose your upgrades and... and everything becomes harder. Oh, interesting thing about the helicopter is you can only shoot straight up. The Jeep can shoot in different directions, the helicopter only up. That's a game, isn't it? But yeah, this might very well be the first game I ever played. Grew up with a Super Nintendo or a Super Famicom, if you're that way inclined. And this was one of the few cartridges we actually had for it. Get our plasma back. It should be 5 now, right? Plasma 5, yes, okay. I think that's the first time I've ever seen Plasma 6 though, so maybe I have improved since I was a child. Keep it coming. Okay. I love this era of gaming though. Definitely coming to more stuff from here. So I was never a Sega, we never had a Genesis. We never even knew anyone with a Genesis. I played the SNES, and my family had NES and stuff. I had some family with Game Boy actually, not Game Boy, the other one, GameCube, that's the one, and maybe N64. But I never really got to play them, so I don't have the nostalgia for the 64. SNES and NES for me. Oh, and DS, I suppose. Damn it, come back here. Nice, okay. So this run's going okay, only died once, and still got our Plasma 5. Which is very nice. And now we're entering the desert, this is the hard part. Now that shooting in groups of 4. I'm not actually sure what it is. It's not that. The fast one. Oh, that's the green thing, right? That's the green thing depositing the orbs. Okay. There's a lot of audio cues. Like when you hear the laser beam, you know you have to look out. And they're all shooting at diagonals, which makes them really hard to dodge. Ah! Okay, we still got shield, so I think that just saved my life. Nice. Gonna dodge around those helicopters. Which side is Metro come from? No! No! Out to Plasma 4. At least we still got some spread on there. I think we managed to pick up an extra life at some point because we've still got 2 life. That's helpful. Careful of the homing missiles. Homing missiles are so mean. You have to dodge things coming from all angles. One thing I find I never do in pretty much any game is use the special attacks. I'm always saving them up for some reason. I don't even know if they're limited. You might just be able to press them like kinda regularly. I should definitely press that button more. Ah! Just not sure what it does. Doesn't seem terribly useful. Oh no! That was mean. Oh no, our spread's gone. Now we're just shooting straight up. Oh, we're at the boss though. At the boss, but we've got 2 lives and plasma 3. That's not ideal. Come on, get going. There we are. Which side's opening first? Do I have enough power to kill those? I do, but only just. Okay. Come on! Oh, at least I can fly over them. That's a positive, I suppose. Nuh-uh. Okay. Keep backing up. Now... Oh, that's coming close. Concentration mode's been activated. Okay, yeah, of course I had to get harder. I forgot about these stages. Now there's more things to dodge. No! Whoa, that was tight. Okay. No! No! Okay. One more life? Yeah, okay. Commentary is really, taking a hit. No! Oh, man. I'm so close! And that's usually... Yeah, like I said before, that's about as far as it usually gets. I think this game actually lets you have longer names than 3 letters, but... Oh well. Back into it, let's have one more go.